Good morning to all. So today we are going to discuss one of the very important cardiac drug, that is cardiac glycosides. Cardiac glycosides. So first thing is cardiac tonic in inotropic drugs, cardiotonics that will provide strength to the cardiac muscles. Okay, cardiotonics inotropic drugs are particularly useful for patients with heart failure. They are indicated in case of heart failure where heart is not able to pump effectively blood to different part of the body. So these drugs will give extra strength to the failing heart, which will help in improving the oxygen supply to the cardiac muscles. So cardiotonics are the drugs that help in increasing the contractility of the heart muscles. Okay. So cardiac glycosides includes various category of drugs. So first most important drug is digitalis or digoxin, which we are giving to the patient, and that is the only one drug presently we are using to manage cardiac failure. Next is, what is the therapeutic effect of digoxin or this cardiac glycosides? They allow this calcium to enter during the contraction. Calcium is available for this muscular contraction. Actin myosin filament theory people are aware about. So for that muscular contraction, calcium is required. So this drug will enhance the calcium level into the cells, which will help in increasing the contractility. Also, these drugs increase the renal perfusion, and that is the increased blood supply to the kidneys, which decreases the renin release, This downplay the activity of renin angiotensin aldosterone system, that is suppressed, which decreases the blood pressure and increases the fluid excretion from the body. So let's study the mechanism of action. This is the myocardial cells, and here is the sodium potassium pump. This is the sodium potassium pump. Okay, so sodium will go out. This is the sodium that will go out, and potassium will come inside. Okay, this is the normal potassium. Okay, and this is regulated by ATPase enzyme. Okay, this is the normal mechanism. So when we are giving digoxin to the patient, this pump is not working, ATPase enzyme is not working, the sodium remains in the cells. So once the sodium level is built up, one more channels get open. This is this channel, and which will help in, this is the sodium, this channel name is sodium and calcium channel. Okay, so what happens, sodium, this channel opens, and that will allow the sodium to go out but help in building the calcium inside the cells. So calcium is available more to the myocardial cells, which help in increasing its contractility. Okay, next is, another mechanism of action of this drug is to decrease the workload of heart and slow its relaxation on the cells. This drug will increase the contractility of heart, but it decreases the workload. Means strength of muscles are increased, but heart rate is not increased. Therefore, this drug can increase the strength of contractility without increase the rate of contraction. Okay, that is very important to remember. Rate of contraction is not increased. This is called negative conotropic effect. Negative conotropic effect, remember it. This drug increases the force of contraction but will not increase the rate of contraction. Next is indication and contraindication of this drug. Primarily indicated for heart failure, also atrial flutter, atrial fibrillation, paroxysmal atrial tachycardia, and it is contraindicated in case of hypersensitivity reaction, ventricular tachycardia, heart block, idiopathic hypertrophic subaortic stenosis, acute MI, renal insufficiency, and pregnancy and lactation. In this, we are giving this drug with great caution. Adverse effect includes central nervous system associated adverse effects are headache, weakness, drowsiness, vision changes, and sometimes halos around the object. That is the very important cardinal feature which we have to consider, because that may result in toxicity. Okay, cardiovascular system, arrhythmia, GI upset, and anorexia are the common adverse effect. So very important thing, we have to monitor the patient very closely for the digitalis toxicity. And the sign and symptom of toxicity are anorexia, nausea, vomiting, malaise, depression, irregular heart rhythm. So these are the some common sign and symptom of toxicity: digoxin toxicity or digitalis toxicity, that is confusion, irregular pulse, bradycardia, ECG changes, arrhythmia, ventricular tachycardia, ventricular fibrillation, sinoatrial block, AV block, loss of appetite, nausea, vomiting, diarrhea, palpitation, yellow halos around the light, blind spot, seeing spot, snowy vision, photophobia, decreased urine output, difficulty breathing when lying down, excessive night urination. So what are the different factors that can contribute, that can lead to digoxin toxicity is hypokalemia. Hypokalemia, if patient is already having hypokalemia, that may increases the risk of developing digoxin toxicity, because already as mechanism of action we have understood, it helps in eliminating the decreases the potassium level in the body. So already if patient is have hypokalemia, that will increase the risk. Dehydration. So hypokalemia is one of the contributing factors for toxicity. Dehydration, patient with hypomagnesemia and certain drugs, if person is taking like codeine, flecainide, verapamil and amiodarone, they have drug interactions that may contribute to digoxin toxicities. Next is how to confirm this digoxin toxicity. On the basis of serum level of digoxin, we are confirming the diagnosis, we are confirming the level. So therapeutic range is 1 to 2.5 milliosmol per liter, and risk factor is if it is above 2.5, it is considered as toxic level. So how to manage this toxicity? For managing this toxicity, very important, you have to remember antidote of digoxin is immune fab. Digoxin immune fab is the antidote, and it's given 40 mg. We are giving the dose, and some also we can give induce the vomiting, stomach wash, and other therapies can be used to reduce the level of digoxin in the blood. Next is nursing consideration while administering this drug. What all things we have to consider? First is very important thing is evaluate the patient for the contraindications, whether there is any contraindicatory things which is there in or not, like renal insufficiency, acute MI, hypersensitivity and all, before starting the drug. Also conduct thorough physical assessment before beginning the drug therapy, especially include baseline vital status, determine the kidney function and all these things. That is a basic thing we have to assess first. Obtain patient weight, because it will help in calculating the exact dose of the drug, and also the fluid status. Also closely monitor the patient heart rate and rhythm, blood pressure to identify cardiovascular changes that may warn you regarding the digoxin dose and the toxicity level. Frequently auscultate the heart for the heart sounds and heart rate, rhythm. Determine urine output and urinary pattern, because all these factors will help you in identifying the toxicity at its early stage. Obtain baseline ECG, monitor serum electrolyte, because it always, if person is having hypokalemia level, chances of getting digoxin toxicity increases. Okay, this is all about this cardiac glycosides, digoxin and digitalis. Thank you.